good.
Yeah, probably will be good. Hello again, everyone. This is Joseph S. Samaniego, the author of the Carolingian Age series, and I'm here with a very special guest today, my brother, William Thomas Smith Jr., who goes by.
Thank you.
I didn't know if you may use your full name or not.
Doesn't matter.
We all call him Thomas.
Thank you.
So,
Pleasure being here today.
thank you. So, Thomas and I are actually in the process of smoking a turkey right now, and it is first time ever, so we're hoping it goes well. We figured we'd take this time to do a quick little interview discussion. We had a great discussion last night, so let's see if we can recreate that magic. But first off, Thomas, like I asked me and my guests, who are fans of the genre, what are your first memories of the fantasy science fiction genre?
Well, my first one probably was, Tolkien and with The Hobbit.
Okay.
That was probably the first one that I can remember, and that's naturally with the actual first. I don't know how you would consider it, the movie.
The animated one?
I guess you would call it animated, I guess, for that time period, I guess. So that was really the first goings on for fantasy and sci-fi for me.
Okay.
And then I think after that it would have been, pretty much with the, more towards the sci-fi. Gene Roddenberry, Ray Bradbury with Star Trek, Star Wars, and then Ray with his fantasy type stuff of I can't remember anything he's got right now on top of my head now. I had to say that because now I can't even think of anything he did.
Well, the classic Halloween tree and Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Something Wicked This Way Comes, yeah.
Which was big in the 70s.
Yeah.
That movie.
That was most of my first introduction, you could say, into it.
So, real quick, speaking of The Hobbit, of the animated Hobbit, did you know that Grandma had the vinyl, or it might have been a cassette, but she had the book, and she had the go along with the film?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she had it. I think she might have had it as a vinyl record. With the book.
Who has that now?
I don't know, but Dad's mom had that.
Oh, wow.
For us grandkids.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I may be the only one that knew that, but it was awesome.
That's wild.
So, yeah, mentioning The Hobbit, I mean, obviously, I remember when Lord of the Rings came out on DVD, we both watched it together here in Mom and Dad's house.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
Which was really cool. And I just remember, there was a whole new. It was blown away by it, and looking at that now, and how the films have gone now. What do you think? How do you think that the whole genre has changed?
Well, naturally with the introduction of better CGI and stuff like that, it just adds more to the films itself. Look at the new Hobbit movies, if you want to say, new for what they were, and like I said, with the Lord of the Rings, even from that to the Hobbit and the destruction of, or what was it? The two Hobbit movies that came out.
Well, there's three.
Or the three? Was it three for them?
Yeah.
They did that one in 3 parts too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And how that CGI and storytelling got a little bit, different from the original,
Yeah, well, definitely.
The original one, and from the Rings and the Fellowship and all that, and to make it look just a more timelier, essence of what it was, So.
Yeah. Well, I think they did a lot of it to draw audiences in.
Well, yeah, you bring in a whole new. You try to bring in, you got to think, I don't know what the year was when it was actually done very first, Tolkien, but you try to bring in a whole brand new audience.
Yeah.
That don't really think, of sci-fi and fantasy stuff nowadays. They're more into the, violence and
Yeah. Well.
cops and robbers, I guess, still, and that type of stuff, or real horror movies than they are, the sci-fi is, if you want to say, kind of has dropped off a little bit, but thanks to, Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
That, and then, like I said, with the new movies and stuff, then, you bring it in a whole new audience again.
Well, and that makes a lot of sense too, when you think about the idea nowadays is also to make money.
Well, yeah, naturally.
Which is unfortunate because sometimes the craft can suffer for that.
Oh, yeah.
I think I remember growing up here too. We had a neighbor, Todd, who was really big into a lot of the fantasy stuff.
Yeah, he got me into Conan. The original,
which got me into Conan.
Yeah, the original. Catch me off guard because I keep on forgetting names, but the Robert
Howard.
When he first came out in those comics, and actually, I mean, it was a comic, but it was also more of the magazine type style that he did, because that thing was, it wasn't like a little comic book, it was like big read type deal, it seemed like, and that's what got me into plus with the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah,
the movies were just amazing.
Yeah.
And like I said, I remember that we had a yard sale. I was probably like 6 or 7, and I bought the little figurines from him when he was selling them at the yard sales. And I don't know, I think he got us into that stuff, and naturally, me being your younger brother, following along with you, which is part of why I think I wanted to do this interview too, was because a lot of my influences. I mean, I remember watching, coming home from school when you would be here, and Star Trek Next Generation would be on, or we'd, and I'd watch it with you, and Dragon Ball Z was on, and I'd watch it, and really we watched the same shows growing up. I remember, because I remember getting toys at my birthday, and you would play with them just as much as I did. So it was always fun.
Because you have better toys now than I did back in my day.
Yeah, that's true. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I wish I saved all my Star Wars. I wish I had saved all those.
Oh,
those things have been worth something, probably.
Oh, yeah, they were in the packages.
Yeah.
I mean, you played with them.
Yeah, back then, I didn't think about saving the packages.
Putting, like, your Matchbox cars in Dad's car. In the muffler or something.
And the gas tank.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Don't ever let me let that down. So, yes, kids out there, do not put Matchbox cars or any type of little bitty play cards into your parents' gas tank. Valerie.
Yeah, I'm sure Dad was thrilled.
Maybe I want to edit that part out.
I'm gonna stay in out. I stayed in. But that does change things, because obviously you coming from the 1970s and me mostly in the 80s.
80s, 90s.
Yeah, there was definitely a shift in what was being presented to the audiences and to the, even in the books. You look at the books, and you go from being this real campy style of cover art and even of topics to something a little bit, kind of what you were saying earlier, a little bit harder and a little bit more generated for
today's audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, I remember looking at some of the book covers from the 60s and 70s and how futuristic they looked because of what people thought we were going to be doing. So it was pretty cool like that, though, at the same time. I enjoyed it.
What was the date? Like, we're in Blade Runner time now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and that's a whole, I think, Escape from New York and Escape from LA have already happened.
Oh, yeah. That was,
at this
Was
point.
going to be, 1999, 1998?
99, I think, and then 2007 or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. So we're Snake at this point,
So we're still way behind.
Yeah.
Where's our flying cars?
And then Running Man. I think Running Man scared me when I was a kid.
Come on, NASA. Hurry up.
I know. Need a flying car. Need the real hoverboards.
Let's see what's really at Area 51.
Yeah. Well, they tried that. I don't think they really succeeded on that one. But I think growing up, it was definitely fun to have a big brother who was into some of that stuff. Into aliens, into the science fiction, and you did like horror a little bit more than I did.
I mean, I dabbled in just about everything. I tried to. It's one thing you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into. Try not to pigeon yourself into one hole, because of the fact, there's so much out there to read and look at and watch, to open up your mind and broaden your mind to that type of stuff. And I was probably a little bit more on, the horror side, because I had just about every Stephen King novel that ever came out for so many years, and then, but still watching the shows and stuff when I possibly could, and got those books and a couple, Star Trek novels, that I had to read, and probably Directive One, type deal stuff. So,
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was big, too, thinking about Stephen King, because I was never as huge of a fan as you and Dad were, but I remember that was always the surefire guaranteed Christmas gift.
Oh yeah,
for you guys was Stephen King books, and it was interesting too, because I think one year you got one from your girlfriend at the time gave you one book that Dad gave you the same book, but you both gave different covers.
I think it was
Insomnia.
I think it was Insomnia. I think one was red and one was white.
And it was like perfect, because it's like, oh, now you got both covers.
I got both covers.
For a collector, that's pretty cool.
And maybe for me, that's what got my. Well, I probably had already been doing it anyway, but that's what I always did for my comic books. If there was 4 different covers, I'm getting all 4 covers.
Well, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that's another thing with the comic books. I remember going to the comic book store with you as a kid, right across the street from Pantana Bob's.
Mm-hmm.
I went there, later on in a few years, which I'm sure you probably ventured there a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we never together though.
No.
But yeah, no, that was definitely a real great experience just going to comic book stores here in North Carolina, even though there are not as many as in bigger cities.
No.
But we had some good ones here. Tales Resold. So yeah, no, we definitely had a lot of that experience too, and I guess it's just interesting when you get to read a lot of that stuff and you get to see a lot of stuff and you have someone to talk to about that and discuss, because I think we always have these great discussions, So I guess from what was an interview turned into a pretty decent discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Probably try to have more in the future. We're already coming up on 15 minutes, so I don't want to.
No, you never want to make them too long.
That's right.
Right.
So
until you start getting some ads in there.
Yeah, that's worth it. So do you have any?
It's not Baby Yoda.
It's not. It can't be. Well, not Yoda himself, but
not Yoda himself.
Could be an offspring. So now that we've stirred up some controversy, do you have any other things you want to leave the audience with?
That's about it.
So again, Joseph S. Samaniego, the author of Carolingian Age series. I'm here with my older brother, Thomas. You'll probably see him again here in the future. And, well, thanks for watching.